The last ones are plotting rational numbers on a number line. A rational number is a fancy word for fractions. We have other things that are rational, but usually when they use the term rational numbers in a description, they're talking about something that has fractions in it. So, same kind of thing. I first want to figure out what units my denominator should be in. So I'm going to count from 0 to 1 how many spaces, not how many marks, how many spaces. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. So I want my denominators to be in fourths. They are here, so I'm good to go. If I'm going to do negative 1 and 1/4, I'm going to go to negative 1 and then 1/4 to the left since it's negative. And so negative 1 and 1/4 would be right here on my number line. If I'm doing 7/4, it's positive, so I'm just going to count 7/4. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, 5/4, 6/4, 7/4. Right there would be my 7/4. Now if I had a really big numerator and I didn't want to have to count that many things, what I could do is change that to a mixed number. If I divide 4 into 7, it goes in there once, and then if I subtract, 7 minus 4 is 3, so 3/4. So I could have started at 0, jumped to the 1, and then 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and you can see my dot ends up in the same spot. Now if I do number 23, I'm going to count again how many spaces are between 0 and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want my denominators to be in fourths. Here it is, but here it is not. Negative 1 and 1/2, I need to write with a denominator of fourths, so I make that equivalent fraction. 2 goes into 4, 2 times 1 is 2. So negative 1 and 2/4 is the same thing as negative 1/2. So now I can plot that. Negative 1 and 1/4, 2/4. You can see ends up halfway between the negative 2 and the negative 1. The 2 and 1/4 I can just go ahead and do. Hop over to 2, do 1/4 to the right past that. So there's my 2 and 1/4. So while I go ahead and adjust my board, you go ahead and do number 24 on your paper. So number 24, if I look at that, again checking to see what denominators I want in my fractions, I'm going to count the spaces between 0 and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I want a denominator of 6. The first one, negative 1 and 1/6, has a denominator of 6, so I can plot that. Negative 1 and 1/6 more than that. My 8/3. 8/3, we want to have a denominator of 6. So we're going to make our equivalent fraction. 3 goes into 6 2 times. 2 times 8 is 16. So I could count 16 places. 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6, 4, 6, 5, 6, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Way over here. If you don't want to have to count all the way to 16, which you can do, to make it easier, we could make the mixed number. 6 divides into 16 2 whole times, which is 12. We have 4 left over, so 4/6 is how far we want to go beyond the 2. So if I jumped over to 2, 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6, 4, 6, and I end up in the exact same spot. So it doesn't matter if you want to count to 16, you can, but if you want to change it into the mixed number, don't reduce your fraction, just change it to the mixed number, then you can plot it that way also. That is the end there of homework day 7.